expectations I will exceed while adding a personal touch to your real estate needs.
Hey everybody, so glad that you tuned in. This is Dee Dee Shirkey with Real Talk Real Estate. I'm right here at Rainier Avenue Radio, and I have a couple of special guests with me, Miss Lene Miller and Kiana Barfield. Our today's topic right now is I am not my sister's competition. I know that there are not a lot of African American women in real estate. And we're going to have a conversation, particularly since it is African American Black History Month. And so I really want to have a conversation about changing the narrative of how people see us, how we see each other, and just kind of our relationship and how we've developed this relationship by empowering each other. I know that there's times where I will go into Lene's office and ask her how she's doing her business and vice versa. And we go back. So we are definitely having conversations about building each other's businesses. Couple things I just want to point out that these two, including myself, are considered mega agents, and not out of being cocky, but we have worked hard to be there. That's right. We have helped last year a total of 80 families between the three of us, and I think that's something that should be celebrated. And I picked the two of you particularly because I know that you do work with excellence and with character and integrity. And so I wanted to bring you two on. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's busy right now, but I just appreciate it. So why don't you say who you are, how long you've been in the business?
So I'm Lene Miller, and I have been in the business going on 15 years this April.
Mm-hmm. I am Kiana Barfield, and I have been in the business for 13 years, 6 years selling real estate full time.
Okay. Lene, tell me, what does success look like for you?
Success looks like having a plan, working the plan, being able to make a difference in the community, in my life, in my family's life, and the lives of other people. So it's also has an education piece, making sure that everyone has an understanding of what is going on and what will benefit them, and just financially enriching everyone's lives.
Yep. How about for you, Keith?
Success for me is being able to empower my community and loved ones, teaching them the benefits and how you can obtain financial freedom through real estate. It's just something that we just don't get if the information is not presented before us. And so once I got the baton, then I felt like it was my duty to get as much information as I can and to put that information out there. It looks different for everybody. Everybody's situation is different on how they'll get there. But if they can get there, just taking the steps to prepare themselves to just buy their first home and then let that first home turn into an investment property and just keep building their portfolio.
One of the slogans that we have is we change lives every day by building intergenerational wealth through home ownership. And there's a lot in that. I think particularly in the African American community, us thinking that wealth is built in one generation is a myth, right?
It is.
How do you break that mold? How do we make sure that grandma's house isn't foreclosed on, or how do we make sure that people's equity is rolled over to the next generation? How do we help empower and encourage those to do what's best in the interest of their families? And at the same time, that may mean that we have to say, hey, it's not time for you to sell, or you know what, you need to push pause on buying. How do you make money, keep the integrity of your business, and help build intergenerational wealth within the African American community? I know that was a lot, but
I think the first key to that is education. And I think education has to look like show me and tell me, and not just speaking words to me. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when I meet people, I share with them some of the personal stories.
Yeah.
I share the story of, you know, buying my first home. My first mortgage was $50 more than I was paying in rent.
Yep.
And I went to the bank and they said, no, not yet. You're not ready yet. Come back in 6 months. Pay off these few little debts. I went and I worked a second job at Taco Time.
Yes, you did.
Hey, whatever I had to do to pay off those little debts. I was a single mom. And then I came back and bought a house. And then 3 years later, I was able to sell it for double what I paid for.
Nice.
And at 27 years of age, there was no way that I was going to be able to save, you know, $100,000 to put down on my next property, which is what I was able to do. So it set me up for success on the next property. And so sometimes I think when I share that with people, I remind them that this first house might not be your forever home, but it's the first step in getting to what you need.
Absolutely. For me, it's making sure that your family has proper estate planning. I think that that's been one of the biggest challenges in our community is making sure that everything is spelled out the way that Big Mama or Grandma wanted it in the will. That there are responsible parties that can still make the property taxes, which in our communities are very high. And if that can't happen, just the conversation needs to be open and upfront without so much emotion being involved. Because oftentimes when the emotion is involved, then the business can't get handled the way
Emotion clouds reason. Absolutely.
every single time. And so I think that when we don't have the proper estate planning and everything is not spelled out exactly how grandma, mom, grandpa, uncle, auntie wants it, then it's hard for those things to be carried out. You know, then it's just, you know, just sell it. And I think that in our experience, that's what has set the majority of our family members ahead, was being able to buy property and hold on to it.
Yep.
And then it'd be worth, 500 and up.
Yeah.
I think, to me, it's very important also that we stress that you've got to pay to live somewhere. Wherever you live,
You're
you're
gonna write
going
a
to
check.
pay.
That's right.
So you're either paying yourself through home ownership or you're paying someone else's mortgage off.
Absolutely.
Those are the two choices. There's nothing in between.
Absolutely.
And with the amount that rents are today and the amount that it takes to get into just an apartment, there's so many alternatives.
Yeah. Which is why, the homebuyer workshops that I choose to teach, even if everybody doesn't purchase a home that comes to the class, they at least have an opportunity to have the education, know where to start. And I think sometimes the fear of the unknown, my credit is bad, how do you know? Well, because I got collections, I have this and that and the other. People are calling me, but you haven't really looked at it and no one showed you a plan. People are telling you just to come back when you're ready, right? And I think when we talk about the education part, we have to be educated first, right? So I want to kind of move in a different direction, but want to give a real quick shout out to, again, www.rainieravenueradio.world. This is where you can get all of this information. Again, this is Dee Dee Shirkey with Dee Dee Real Estate Group, coming to you. Gosh, it's cold in here, but that's okay. We pull we pull it through. Want to talk about the education portion of real estate. We've all partnered with Keller Williams. We have aligned our businesses with them for one reason or another. And I want to quickly talk about their education and what you have learned in the past, in 2018. What have you learned, and how has that launched you into 2019?
So one of the most important lessons that I'm learning is to run my business like a business, leading with revenue and profit, and knowing exactly what the plan is and sticking to the plan and working the steps.
Yep.
Like I said, this is almost my 15th year, and there wasn't always a plan. Some days it was just get up or don't get up, or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
And now there's a definite plan. And there's also a plan on how to bring other people into the business. So we're growing as a team. How to bring other people into the business, which then helps the community because you're employing other folks.
That's right. That's right.
The most important piece that I learned was how to leverage my business. I'm still working at it, but I can't wear every hat the way that I've been wearing every hat.
No.
And continue to elevate to the level that I'm going. I can't do everything, and so there's certain areas of my business that I have to hire and trust people to execute the job that they need to do in order for me to do what I'm best at.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off what you said, running and operating your business like a business.
Yeah. And I think that, man, it was a lot for me in 2018, and I learned a lot. The whole running your business like a business, it doesn't negate the human part of what we do, right? Because people are entrusting us to make some of the largest investments that they'll ever make in their life. And hopefully that we are going to have repeat customers. That is what we want you to refer your grandmother and your aunt and your uncle and your dog, because if his house is on real property, we can finance the dog house too. But we build a lot of what we do off of referral and relationship.
Right.
And we, at the same time, the integrity of our business, we can't compromise that either. That doesn't help our clients. I have dialed into learning my numbers so that I can, in turn, give back to my community. I can't give what I don't have, right? And if I don't understand what I need to attain, I can't help my community, right? To be able to share the testimony, like you were saying, your first home. When I teach my class, I talk about my first house and how I got there. And in 1 year, I had $70,000 worth of equity. I didn't have to work a second job. There's things I didn't have to do. But just because I had to write a check somewhere every month that I was going to do anyway, right? And so, what do you tell your buyers that are on the fence right now?
I always tell them to start with the lender.
Okay.
I always tell them to start with the lender. Let's pull your app. Let's get you to fill out an application and see where you are. And that way you have a blueprint on the things that you need to do if you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
They're the ones that give you the money, and they know exactly what you need to do to prepare yourself. And oftentimes, people that are on the fence, they say, oh, well, I know what I need to do. I need to do A through Z. And sometimes the things that they think they need to do are not necessarily what needs to be done, and it can hinder them more than help them.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we get that, right? So let me go ahead and pay off all these credit cards and all these collections, and then all of a sudden you paid off all this stuff.
And then it reported.
And it is reporting
Right.
you woke up a sleeping dragon, and now your credit is
Not
down 40 points.
Right. So I always tell them to start with the lender, and I found that when they're ready and they take that first step, they feel better, even if their credit scores aren't where they need to be, or they're still saving for a particular amount of down payment if they don't qualify for down payment assistance, or they choose not to use it for whatever reason.
Sure.
Once they actually speak to the lender and then they have that blueprint to follow from A to Z, then they feel, it's like, okay, I can do this. And then I tell them, pedal some, coast some, start marking things off as you do them, and you'll feel more accomplished.
Yeah. How about for you, Renee?
So I always too talk to them a little bit more holistically about what is the fear, why are you waiting? Mm-hmm. Sometimes when people say they want to save more money, I educate them on what the appreciation is. And so if you're not, some years we're appreciating $7,000 a month per average on a home. So unless you're out saving $7,000 a month.
Well, that's good, Renee.
That is good.
What are you waiting for? Mm-hmm. The longer you wait, the more expensive and unattainable that same house is getting. Mm-hmm. So instead of waiting to try to jump in and give away some of that equity, let's go ahead and do what we need to do now and let you take advantage of that equity. So
when it comes to education, what educational classes did you all take last year? And how has it improved the service that you have given to your clients?
Well, I took so many classes last year. Every time they had something at the office, I tried to take it.
Don't
But-
you feel like you should have a master's in economics
Yes.
and business something? I feel like I should have a diploma and a doctorate and a master's and something
Right.
because it's a lot.
Well, that's why Keller Williams, I mean, just a shameless plug for Keller Williams
Yep.
is, the training is called Keller Williams University because it really is a PhD in
You
the
are
real
not
estate
joking.
business. So
Yeah.
it's a little different than other brokerages in that we're constantly learning what it takes to move the needle.
Yeah. Do we also career visioning,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So, and I remember I posted this, day one after career visioning where this woman is walking down that slip and slide and she thought she had it all together and then she whoop, boom, and fell all the way down. And I felt like that is where I was after the first day of career visioning. I felt like I had maybe knew a little more than I thought I did. And then they dropped this bomb on me and was like, oh my gosh, am I going back to square one? And you feel that way, but you're really not. You're really not at square one.
That wasn't career visioning for me. That was the business planning clinic. I was just like, I'm nothing. I thought that I really did something major in 2018, and I felt like I had really done nothing. And I'm not taking away credit
Right.
from myself, but the information that I was able to obtain through that, now I can go on and be the great person that I know that I am.
Yeah.
It was the missing link.
Yeah.
It's just like, trying to do something and you don't know how to do it, but you try.
Yeah.
That's how I felt after that I took the class. Like, how have I been operating business like this?
Right.
All these years. But I'm very
Sheer grit.
Yes,
right?
I'm very
Yeah.
grateful and blessed to have got the information because even though I had a migraine for about 3 days afterwards,
Yeah.
once I was able to come down from it, the information was so valuable.
See, so I'm a nerd, right? So I'm really into numbers and finding out information. But the eye opener for me was when I went to Mega Camp. When I went to Mega Camp and I signed up for a breakout, and it was Rainmakers on a Team, and I sat at a table and they went around the table and said, "Oh yeah, we did 500 homes. Oh, we did
Right.
200.
And you're like,
oh, we did
I'm sorry?"
800.
Right.
Oh, I'm here to take notes.
Right.
I got nothing.
I'm just not gonna,
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
even
just
know.
here to take
Right.
notes. Would you like me to get you some coffee?
Right.
And so for me, that was the understanding that there is no limit.
Ooh,
There
no
is
cap.
there's no
No
cap.
cap.
And I think moving into K Dub, I call him K Dub, there's no cap.
There's no cap.
There's no way you're gonna walk in and say, hey, I really wanna do A, B, C, and Z. And they're gonna say, okay, great, let me go get you that manual.
Right?
Wait, you have a manual for this?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get these numbers and let me show you the formula. And this is what you need, and you will be there by, when do you want to be there by? 2 years? Okay, well, this is what you have to do. And the one thing that I love about our office is that it's so open, it's open door.
Right.
Again, there's no person that I can't ask help and they'll help me because there is no competition. And I really just want to get out there that even with us,
Right.
we've done a total of 80 homes. There's plenty.
There's plenty.
There is plenty. There's room at the table for everybody. And there's just no reason why we can't pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I'm getting ready to do this inspection, or I have a question about this, about my 411, my 135. And if you guys, as business owners, don't know what a 411 or a 135, you can talk to either one, all of us, because it actually can transcend to any business.
Any business.
Absolutely.
It is.
Any business. So, couple of things. How do you keep the integrity in your business? Let me preface that there's a lot of agents out here, regardless of color and gender, that chase money, and we've all been on the other side of it, to where you can smell commission breath. How do you keep the integrity of your business even when you may not be where you want to be?
I just think that comes from upbringing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just what your value set is, your moral compass, just from your inner, just who you are as a person. And so for me, I can't treat someone the way that I wouldn't want to be treated. So, you know.
For me, I just stay true to who I am. Really, the business is not about money.
Yeah.
It's not. And if you're in sales, you already know that when you chase the sale, you won't make any money. Everybody knows that. When you need money the most, you won't make any. If you're desperate, yeah. So I just really stay true to who I am and why I'm in it. My why is to help people.
Right.
And when I really started operating and my gifts just started making room for me, and things were just exceeding and abundant for me. And so it's just staying true to who you are and staying on the path, and just knowing that you're always evolving and you're always growing, and you're always learning. You don't know everything. You're going to learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And also just being honest with my clients too.
Yeah.
You know?
Even if that honesty, I have to ask permission. How
honest do you want me
how
to
honest
be?
do you want me to be?
Can I be
Because I'm
honest
gonna
with you?
Yeah, can I be honest with you?
And some people can't handle that. And some people choose not to, and that's fine too. But I feel that my tribe attracts itself to me, and the clients I'm supposed to have are my clients.
Yes.
Because of my honesty and integrity.
Yes. Thank you so much. One of the ways that I definitely keep my integrity is, when I started in 2006, I was at Genesis Real Estate School, and the teacher went up there and said, if you are in this for money, you're in the wrong business and you won't make it.
That's right.
And if you take care of people, the money will follow.
Absolutely.
And when the money follows, the overflow is going to be for your community.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of community, we have a community activist that I would love to bring on to the show for the last few minutes. This is the founder, CEO, Mama B, Miss Bridget Hempstead, who is also my mother. She is the founder of Sierra Sisters, a nonprofit organization. Well, I'll let her tell you who Sierra Sisters is, because I know that she's going to do it better than me. So you have the floor.
First of all, I want to say I feel so honored to be here with my daughter and her two colleagues. Black brilliance at the table. Amazing. Thank you for giving back to our community. Sierra Sisters is an African American breast cancer organization, and started because I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 35, and then it has evolved into so much more than just a cancer support organization. We do education, we have one-on-one support, we do local, national, and global support. Soon we'll be doing I'll be doing a training in Hawaii on a national program that I developed called the SEPS Toolkit for endometrial cancer. So we have crossed the lines on many different cancers that are affecting our community, because we want to have more survivors, educated community members on how to take care of how to advocate for ourselves, because we're always the ones that are lastly taken care of when medicine had evolved on the backs of black slaves, and is wonderful medicine, so we should benefit from our pain and suffering that we have contributed to medicine.
So if people want more information about Sierra Sisters, where can they go?
They can go to www.sierrasisters.org, and Sierra is spelled Cierrasisters. It's an African word that means knowing. If you have the knowledge, you have the power to fight against the effects of cancer. And so we're coming up on 23 years, February 23rd. Sierra Sisters was founded during Black History Month, and we're having a virtual tea party all the month of February. We'll have flyers up on our website and lots of information. And then also we have a restaurant that's going to be hosting our a tea session that will be
On February 23rd.
On February 23rd, and I'm looking for the address of the restaurant. Anyway, I can't find it quickly, but you'll be able to come back to that. So it'll be from 4:30 to 6:30, and we're going to have African teas. You can drop in You could bring a donation. We've contributed so much to this community, and we only survive off of donations. We don't have any big grants yet.
So where can people go to donate?
They can go to Sierra Sisters website. They can do a PayPal donation if you don't feel comfortable using PayPal. You could also drop a donation into the mail.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you so much. I'm the vice president because she told me if I didn't become the vice president, I was going to get a whooping. So I quickly signed myself up. No, and it has been an incredible journey just to watch these families transform and be a little more fearless when they have the support of an organization who cares about the well-being. Again, thank you so much, ladies, for coming. This is Dee Dee Shirkey, Real Talk Real Estate. We are here at www.Rainier Avenue Radio World. Hey, I've got a home buyer workshop coming up at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. It's going to be Saturday the 9th. If you want, it's actually from 10 to 3. If you want to sign up, go to ddhomeexpert.com. Make sure you register because we are going to be providing food. So don't just, well, actually, if you just need to show up, show up. But if you can register before, that'd be great so that I don't have to try to perform miracles and try to turn loaves of bread and fishes into multiple loaves of bread and fishes, or we have to go get more chicken or pizza. So make sure you register. Come get educated. Lene, where can they reach you?
They can reach me at the Miller Group, KW, Facebook or Instagram.
How about you?
Kiana Barfield on IG, Kiana Barfield on IG, or Kiana Barfield on Facebook.
Okay, there's enough room at the table for everybody. You have some amazing agents that are out here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Want to find the home of your dreams? Looking to sell, leave it up to me. Your expectations I will exceed. Why